Now, tignan natin yung pump characteristic curve. So, I draw a line 100 GPM towards the curve ng 9 inches diameter at 350 RPM. So, at this point, so 100 GPM, so magbangga siya doon sa curve na ito, bounded by that curve. So, we have a corresponding 349 feet or yung total dynamic niya, total dynamic head in feet of H2O. So, I'm gonna write here, feet of H2O. So, feet of water. Now, mapapansin nyo, yung efficiency ng impeller na pump, which is 9 inches at 3,500 RPM, is this yung solid line. Efficiency niya yan. Then, yung efficiency ng dotted line o yung tawag dito, non-continuous line is yung 4,000 RPM. Now, I'm gonna check yung brake horsepower. So, since we're looking for ilan yung brake horsepower ng 3,500 RPM. So, makikita nyo ito, this is the solid line. So, this is the line for the brake horsepower at the specific gravity of 1. And uncontinuous line, brake horsepower, 4,000 RPM. Ito yon. Now, referring to this one, so, saan sila magbabangga? So, at this point, okay, dito nagbangga yung 100 GPM at this line, no? So, I'm gonna draw ng line. So, crossing nito. So, I'm starting to draw the line. So, saan siya nagbangga? Okay. So, we have this value. So, this is 40. So, in the middle, we have 30, di ba? So, 40, we have 20, 30, and 40. So, we have a corresponding ano dito. Let's say this is I'm gonna write here 31 horsepower to represent yan. So this is 31. So let's clear this one, undo. So I'm gonna write here 31 HP again. Okay, 31 horsepower. So that will be the brake horsepower niya. Now, gamitin natin siya doon sa equation kanina. So, going back to our solution. Okay. So, for brake horsepower 2, so I'm gonna write here, since ano tayo, that is 31. I'm gonna change this one. So, brake horsepower 1 is 31 HP. Then, I'm gonna multiply it by 1.43. So, using your calculator, we have the value of, so I have the value of 44.33 horsepower. Okay. So, at that flow rate, no, we have the given flow rate, which is 113. So, we have 44.33 horsepower. Now, let's try to zoom yung pump characteristic curve natin, no? So, if this is our 31, so I'm gonna write here 31. Lagyan natin dito 31. So, this is our 31. So, mapapansin nyo, that is 44. So, kung saan bumabangga rin itong line na ito. So, let's try to draw the line. So, I'm gonna draw the line. Yung binanggaan ito ng 100 GPM. So usually, if it is 100, we have 130 naman corresponding, no? So mapapansin nyo, yung volume flow rate natin, that is 113. So if you're going to plot that one, so I'm gonna write here 113. So if I'm going to draw the line, paakyat ng 113, so this is 200 going to 4,000, no? So that will be the 4,000 RPM. So, draw with the line. I'm gonna draw the line, paakyat doon. So we have 4,000 RPM. Ay, sorry. So this is 113. Okay. Then, you will notice yung corresponding niya na horsepower is something around 44. Pwede na siya estimated as 44. Since this is 40, in between that, it will be 50 and then we have your 60. Yeah. So, this is 44. So, you have a corresponding 44 at 113. Now, looking yung calculation natin previously, so mapapansin nyo dyan, no? So, we have from 100 times 113, we have 113. So, ito yung kung ipa-plot mo. So, tatangba siya doon sa characteristic curve ng 4,000 RPM. So, ito yon. Then, with the corresponding brake horsepower, so tatamaan niya yan. Yung dotted line na yan. So, we have 44. So, which is yung nakuha natin. Then, we have 31 naman initially, kasi ito yung part na tinamaan ng curve, no? Tinamaan niya. So, bounded by the line, bounded by the intersection line of the curve in the straight line of your capacity. So, we have a 31 horsepower. Now, for the pump efficiency naman, okay, so, mapapansin niyo, this is the efficiency percent. So, that will be the pump efficiency. So, yan yon. Then, I'm gonna draw a line to represent that one. So, let's try to draw a line. Okay. So, usually, ito yung efficiency curve natin, no? Kita niyo yan. So, we have the solid line for the efficiency of a pump at 3,550 RPM. So, ito yung solid line na yan. Then, yung dotted line the non-continuous line, that will be yung at the 4,000 RPM. Now, we have 100 GPM, initially 100 GPM ng volume flow rate at 349 feet of H2O. So, I'm going to draw a line, the intersection of efficiency para doon naman. So, let's try to draw the line. So, ito yung intersection. Okay, so it is somewhere here. Or let's say, nandito siya banda, intersection na yan. Okay, so that will be the dotted line. So, I'm gonna write yung value nito as what is around 28%. So, this is 28. Okay, 28%. So, the pump efficiency. Okay. So, the pump efficiency, 28%. Then, for the corresponding 113, no? 113 at the given total dynamic head, which is yung increasing total dynamic head niya, which is equal to 444, no? So, 113 of flow and 444. So, it is somewhere here, yung pump na yan. Then, our pump efficiency para dyan is, let's draw a line. So, kung saan nagbangga, no? Ito yon, saan nagbangga siya dito. At this time. Sorry, this line. Okay? So, that is somewhere, yan, dyan. If you can look, they are almost the same, no? So, they have the same efficiency. So, we can conclude this is, so, ang liit lang naman na diferensya niya. So, we can conclude that, so, that will be the pump 1, no? Pump 1. So, that will be your pump 1. That will be your pump 1. So, we have your pump 1. So, we have the efficiency of your pump 2 are equal. Okay, so this is how to read yung pump characteristic curve. So later on, we'll try to discuss more expound yung reading ng pump characteristic curve. When in terms of selections of pump, kasi importante siya when you do select of pump, which is dapat pasok siya doon sa pump characteristic curve. So, when you do practice, so makikita nyo yan, ma-encounter nyo yan, especially if you're in design and also installations. If you're going to select the type of pump that is required na gagamitin mo doon sa site or on the, let's say, processing or distribution system of water. Now, suppose dapat ang volume flow rate niya, corresponding, dapat pasok siya doon sa total dynamic head. So, dapat let's say, you have 300 feet of HU when you have 100 GPM. So, dapat supposed to be pasok siya dito. So, hindi siya pwede maglalampas doon sa pump characteristic curve. So, once na naglampas siya doon sa pump characteristic curve, so there is, magkakaroon ka ng problema in actual testing. So, there will be mahina ang flow rate or mahina ang pressure. Okay? So, yun yung mga kaakibat na disadvantage pag hindi nakapasok siya doon sa pump characteristic curve. So, usually that everything that falls below ng pump characteristic curve natin dito, so that is with the intersection na below dito, it will suffice the design. So, beyond that, sumobra ka doon, so, there is something wrong, no? Hindi siya supply na maayos the system, so yung pressure na required mo the system will not be enough to support yung desired na pressure and also desired flow rate mo doon sa system. So we will be having a sample for that one. So for the next video.